Welcome everybody. My name is Jeff Green. I am the president of GreenTeam Realty, and I am very happy to bring to you today the wrap-up of our Team Up for Hope 2018 initiative that we did for NAMI, National Association for Mental Illness. We were very proud and honored to serve this organization as well as bring light and money to the cause of mental illness. It's something that is very prevalent in today's society, but not known enough, not talked about enough. So we're going to address a little bit of that today, but let's take care of some housekeeping items first. First of all, a thank you to all of the committee members on the Green Team as well as NAMI for doing what you did this year to make it happen and make it a successful campaign. We raised a total of $3,165 for Orange County NAMI, and $1,520 for Sussex County, for a total of $4,685. But we decided today that we're going to leave the Facebook campaign open until Monday the 26th, which is just after the Thanksgiving holiday. We're hoping that we could at least raise the extra $315 to round it off to $5,000. That would be a really nice thing for us to be able to say we raised $5,000 for NAMI. So if you have an extra few bucks kicking around, by all means, feel free to donate to the Facebook campaign. So what does the future hold for Team Up for Hope and for NAMI? Well, we really enjoyed our time with NAMI this year, and we found the people that work there are just such great people. It's purely a volunteer-based organization. Nobody's earning salaries, anything like that. That's very important to us. And so we decided that we're going to stick with NAMI for 2019 with the Team Up for Hope initiative. But what we're going to be doing, if you're a corporate sponsor or maybe one of our service providers that supports, with your product or service, supports our agents, so on and so forth, we encourage you to join us and become a corporate sponsor and become part of the Team Up for Hope initiative in 2019. We're going to be pounding the pavement with that somewhere around March and April to get that going. And then our plan is to run a public initiative of the public campaign, so to speak, during the month of October, which happens to be the month which is designated for mental illness. All right, so we're going to be doing a webinar series during the month of October. We're going to bring in all sorts of special guests to bring awareness and some just really courageous stories, of which we're going to hear one today from Andrea Wynn. And so that's what the next year, 2019, is going to look like. So I hope that everybody stays tuned. If you want to donate to the Facebook campaign between now and the 26th, you can go to TUH, it's an acronym for Team Up for Hope, TUH.greenteamhq.com. And again, we're going to leave that open until Monday the 26th. So let's bring in Andrea. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We're so happy to have you here. And let me just give a little bit of an introduction to you. So Andrea, I know Andrea's family very well because her mom, Susan, is our copyright manager for the Green Team, and her sister, Nicole, Susan's daughter as well, is our graphic designer. And they both do great work for us. So this is the first time that I'm getting to meet Andrea. But Andrea is a very courageous and outgoing soul who is willing to share her experiences with mental illness. So I just feel very fortunate and blessed to have somebody who's willing to actually talk about it, right? So without further ado, Andrea, let's give you the stage and hear what you have to say.
All right, thank you so much. So my name's Andrea. I'm 26 years old, and my official journey with mental health and mental illness began when I was 14. I began treatment for a variety of different symptoms that my doctor chalked up to bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and anxiety. So the depression, what did that entail for me? I couldn't get out of bed. I had no desire to really live. My friendships and relationships suffered. I was self-harming. I became a cutter. I was crying and screaming, wanting my life to end, and I had suicidal thoughts and ideation. My anxiety affected me because at the time I was in 8th grade and I couldn't get out of the car to go to school. I couldn't walk into the school buildings. This lasted until pretty much I got my GED, which is we'll get there. Um, when I had manic symptoms, I felt unstoppable. I felt like I was bigger than life. I felt accomplished, and I could sit in my room and I could write 5 songs in one sitting. I felt excessive activity in my brain. It didn't feel good. Most people say mania feels really good. I don't like it because it feels very out of control, and I don't like feeling out of control. So it wasn't fun for me. So I was in school during this time, and there was a lot of problems with the school understanding. They didn't really know what to do with me. They put me in several different programs trying to figure out where I could succeed with school. If I didn't go, there would be problems with like truancy, or my parents could get in trouble for me not attending school. So these programs that they placed me in, none of them really worked. They didn't really help with what I needed from the schools. And the only option left after all of those programs was to get my GED, which I did when I was 17 years old. So during this process, I was on so many different medications. My doctor called them cocktails, and he said that once we find the right cocktail, that everything would work. But there were a lot of side effects. I gained a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight. I felt like a zombie. I felt no change, maybe. I would feel sick to my stomach when changing medications. So the thing about trying all the different cocktails is that eventually you find the right one. So I had to find another psychiatrist, and I walked into my psychiatrist's office with a list of all the different medications I'd ever been on. And he took a look at it, and he said to me, I'm looking at this list, and I am seeing someone that doesn't want to get better. He said, if you don't want to get better, get out of my office. But if you want to get better, you can work with me, you can work really hard, and we'll get you better. And I left that session, and I felt like, who was this guy to be talking to me like that? But after a few days of thinking and really digging deep, I realized, who am I to treat myself and my life with such disrespect almost? So I went back to this doctor, and I've been working with him ever since. So my journey to recovery and wellness, which is what today is all about. I had to learn to accept my failures. I started off at community college once I got my GED, and I took 15 credits that semester, and I lasted 3 weeks before I dropped out. And then for some reason, I was like, I'm going to go back. And I took another class the next semester. Didn't work out. I had to drop out. But that next fall, I took a music class, which made sense because I'm a music person. I love music. I love theater. So I figured, okay, maybe that's a good path to go down. So I made it through that class for the entire semester, and I ended up getting a C, and C's get degrees. So it was great. And from that experience, I really gained this outlook of, I was in a classroom with people my age, people older and younger, and I was like, wow, I can be one of these people. I can be who I was before I got sick. So it gave me this goal to reach. So the fall semester after, I started full-time in the music program, and I did 4 full semesters before transferring to SUNY Purchase, pursuing my degree in theater and performance through their arts conservatory. So it's really important throughout your whole journey with recovery is to have coping mechanisms and to have systems in place to help yourself. So several things that helped me were holding myself accountable. I could no longer blame mental illness for my actions or for how I treated people. I had to be grounded. Self-awareness is also very important, and that's something that I pride myself on, and it's really important to understand your triggers to things, like, why am I reacting to this in the way that I am? What makes me so upset about this, and how can I change that for myself? So it's also important to know what helps get you up when you're feeling down. I've made a list of things that I can do when I get depressed that help me get out of that mindset. So my list entails some self-care, things that I do to treat my body and my life with respect. So things like, very simple, I drink more water because water is good for you. I'll clean my room, or I'll clean the house because it gives me a nice environment to surround myself in. Eat healthy because eating healthy, it's good for your body. So you're doing something good for yourself. Exercising, yoga, meditation, journaling, and most importantly, taking my medication as directed. But even to this day, I'll still have slip-ups. I'll have days or a week where I don't feel well, or I'll have a reaction to something that's not ideal. And these slip-ups make me really worried because I think, oh, does this bad day mean that I'm going to go back to where I started at when I was 14? But what's really important is to accept that I'm allowed to have a bad day or a bad week. And I need to accept it as such. But if there's ever a time where I need more help from my mental health care providers, that it's really important to seek it. There's nothing weak or wrong with needing a medication change or needing help, needing to talk to someone. And good news, I just got my diploma from SUNY Purchase. I graduated with honors, and that was really amazing for me because
Wow. Congratulations.
thank
That's
you
awesome.
so much. Thank you. Because I never graduated from anything. I never walked. I never worn a cap and gown, you know? So walking at the SUNY Purchase graduation was something that I never thought would happen. I went from living a life where I didn't know if I'd have a future. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do anything. And now I'm living a life where I'm actively pursuing my future. I'm pursuing happiness. I'm pursuing a healthy, happy, and full life for myself and those who I love. And being who I am as a theater and music person, I want to end my story with singing a song that I wrote many moons ago about how I feel in my journey with mental illness. I'm very cramped. Hold on one second.
Sorry we don't have like a stage there or anything like that.
That's okay. I'm not a diva. I'll sing anywhere. So this is the song I wrote. It's called A Happy Face. I grew up my whole life wanting to please everybody, and I had always hoped to be somebody worth being loved. Looking in the mirror, God, I'm a mess. Feels like there's nothing that'll cure my illness. It's tragic and frightening, not knowing what'll happen next. I'm tired of feeling misplaced and putting on a happy face. I take my meds, it hurts my pride, even though I know I need it to survive. Wish I didn't have to even so. How many treatments have I tried? Getting really tired of the bumpy ride, but I gotta put the car in drive to go. Roll down the window, take a breath, realize I'm doing my very best, and sometimes that's all you need to know. I learned my highs and where they go, and I learned how the lows trick you into thinking that there's no hope, and those days are hard, but they pass by, and when they do, I lay down, rest my eyes, rest my smile, rest my happy, unhappy, exhausted, beautiful face.
Woohoo! That was awesome.
Thank you so much. And
Great.
Thank you. And
That
thanks
was
to the
great.
Green Team for shedding so much light and hope on something that people don't really like to talk about. So
Yeah, no problem. You're
Green
very
Team.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so do you mind if we ask you some questions? I have some questions.
Go for it. I'm an open book.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Sheila, if you have something, I've talked enough here. I want to hear from everybody else, but I do have some questions.
Yeah, Andrea, I have a question. First of all, thank you for sharing your story of hope and your brave journey to recovery and letting us know that mental illnesses are manageable. You touched my soul, and then you warmed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask you, as you know, your mom took the family class that we offer here at NAMI for the 12 weeks. By the way, I gave her an A+. But seriously, as a parent, I think I want to know, did your mom taking the class, did it change the way your family communicates? You want to speak to that a little bit? Okay.
Absolutely. I wish that we had known about NAMI and how incredible these resources are when we were struggling, because that was probably just as big of a difficulty as that. No one really knew what we were going through in my family, and the blame was often placed on my mother. Like, no one in our family really understood, but having NAMI would have helped my mom to explain to others. It would have helped her help me. And even going to IEP meetings with schools, how NAMI has advocates, that's something that we really struggled with. We would go in and be terrified of these meetings. So that's something that's incredible about NAMI. And it just, her knowledge now about how to help myself, how to help others in our family who are struggling, it's just invaluable.
NAMI will send a representative for an IEP meeting at school?
I'll let Sheila.
Yeah. We don't send representatives to the school, but we work closely to the school. And I'm glad you addressed that school issue, because even now, currently now, through the help of the Green Team, thanks again, we're able to send out more. We have a initiative ourselves called Ending the Silence. And we're able, through our president, Danu Shaughnessy, we're able to give that class to the most of the school district here in Lower Orange County. As of now, we're up to like 10 schools. Great. So we're educating the teachers as well as the students.
Is that like in an assembly format?
Yes, it is an assembly format. It's the representation, I think it's 15 minutes. I'm sorry, the presentation, I think it's 15 minutes. It's called Ending the Silence.
Very cool.
It's designed for middle and high school students.
Yeah.
It teaches them about the signs and symptoms of mental illness and the importance of acknowledging those signs and symptoms.
So I have a question for the A+ student in the room. Susan's sitting next to Andrew there.
Okay.
So, you know, I have two boys at home, 11 and 7, and I have personally dealt with mental illness, not in my immediate family, but within my extended family. And, man, it is so heavy to think of one of my kids dealing with bipolar. So Susan,
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like, you know, when Andrew was 14 and couldn't get out of bed and was cutting herself and having suicidal thoughts? I mean, what did that do to you?
It was like a black hole that we lived in for years, where we couldn't leave the house pretty much. I was very often sleeping on her floor, making sure she didn't hurt herself. It tears your heart out, and you want to do anything you can to make your child feel better.
Right.
But you don't know what to do. And NAMI gives you tools, and it gives you a toolbox that you can work with. And even now, Andrew says there are times where there are tough days, and I've learned not to take things personally. The attacks aren't personal. You learn what is the illness and what is the person, and how to react, how to de-escalate, how to plan for emergencies. And you understand the chemistry, the biologic chemistry and nature of the disorder. And you also learn to stand up for yourself, and that you know it's not your fault. As a parent, we didn't cause this. It's a chemical imbalance that causes this within the brain. And more people need to know about these classes and these services. And I think with the IEP meetings, which I still could have nightmares about, I think they have advocates, parents who've been through there, who will go in with you to the meetings and just help you get through the meetings with some support by your side, so you don't have to face the system alone.
Interesting. Okay. Karen, any questions that you may have for Andrea? I don't know if you have anything. You can just say no, that's okay.
I don't actually have any questions, but I have to say that it's really nice to meet you, and to know that this cause that we've all been working towards is actually helping one of our own. It's so special to finally meet you and see what a wonderful human being you are. And
thank you
for graduating. That's awesome, especially, you know, dealing with what you've dealt with and come out on the other side. I commend you for that, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, well said. Very well said. All right, so I guess that's a wrap. Sheila, before we close it out for the year here, do you just want to touch on maybe some other programs quickly, 2 minutes max, that maybe you want to highlight for NAMI so that maybe someone
Yes.
who's made it through this far watching this?
Yeah, I want to say to all of you to donate, you should know that this support does make a difference in helping NAMI Orange as well as NAMI Sussex to continue to help the many families whose loved ones have a mental disorder. And NAMI will remain vigilant and persistent in doing its part to destigmatize mental illness. And through education and various programs we have and our advocacy, we will not rest until our loved ones receive fair and equal treatment. The same as what's dedicated to those of us that have physical illnesses. We have different programs. If you go to NAMI.org, you'll have an outline of each one of them. The one we talked about this evening, the Family to Family, as I said, it's a 12-week program. By the way, these programs are free. We offer free education and information so that we all can better understand. There is NAMI Basics, which is a 6-week program, a shorter program, gives us like a condensed version. And I talked about Ending the Silence that's being offered to the educational community, school community. I just want to say again, NAMI believes that the family plays a large role in helping our loved ones through mental disorder. And these many family educational classes given by trained educators are voluntary, like myself, but your donations help reach many more and give many more of these classes. And finally, we realize the challenges of living with mental illness not only affects the individual family, but also friends, teachers, co-workers, neighbors, and others in the community. We offer this information again so that they can better understand.
Okay.
And challenges and expectations inside each family, they may be different, but that hope for meaningful recovery, right, Andrea? For our loved ones is the hope of us all. So donate, help them live their best life. And thanks again to the Green Team, Jeffrey. Thank you guys so much. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah. And they're, I say this all the time, and it is so true. I'm just so humbled to be surrounded by the quality and the caliber of people that are in the Green Team. It's all about people. And man, have I been blessed to have so many great people come to our organization, people who care about our community, want to give back. So this is all about the people of the Green Team. That's what this is all about. And we're so happy to help. And I really feel like NAMI and the Green Team is a great match, so we can definitely help you guys. So we look forward to the new campaign in 2019, but in the meantime, let's enjoy this holiday season, and we'll pick up in the new year. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea.